Had 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Goalkeeper made a few saves. They hit the post a couple of times, the bar. I think everybody there knows there was a golfing class. And City had their first win of the new look UEFA Champions League phase. 3 points to add to the one against Inter. And they're up in the top 8 of the Premier League, of the Champions League table. Final score, Slovan Bratislava 0, City 4. Well, let's go back to the studio where we can hear from Shaun Wright-Phillips, Nedum and Natalie.
Welcome back to Matchday Live, where Manchester City have beaten Bratislava 4-0, and you can see the pictures there, live pictures from the pitch. There is Rico Lewis after another brilliant performance for that young man. For the fourth goal this evening, it was Academy Rico Lewis to Phil Foden to James McAtee. Another proud night for the Academy. Let's take a look at some of the stats for this evening. I'm still joined by Shaun Wright-Phillips and by Nedum. So 73% possession for City this evening. 14 attempts on target, and you'll see for Bratislava, no attempts on target there. In terms of the team top 5 passing, Gundogan, Stones, Vardiol, Lewis and Akanji. And look at those percentage ratings, although that massively upped there in Natenko in the second half, because I swear they were on 60% in the first.
Did he come off the bench? Maybe he came off the bench.
Maybe.
Yeah, but even so, that they played completely different, didn't they? Played a little bit more aggressive. They took a few more chances, to be honest. And it's nice to see Nunes up there.
Nunes
with all
still
the running.
there.
And Nedum hit a point when we was chatting, obviously, while the game was going on, is the fact that we've had all possession of the ball. So for him to do the amount of running he's been doing is a very good sign. A
lot less in the second half, though. He was on 6.5 in the first half. So less than 5, 4.9 or something in the second half.
But to run
still
11 to 12k in a game where you have all the ball, it's harder to do than people think.
And we really, really did have all the ball in that game, Shaun. I mean, that was dominant from the first minute through right to the end.
Well, it's pretty much what we all expected in terms of that. I think Big Steve hit the nail on the head, because I think he called the scoreline as 4-0 before the game. But in terms of it, it could have been a lot more. But the nice thing is the amount of chances we actually created. He's got a mic, hasn't he?
Yeah, I noticed that.
He's got an MC. Maybe we should get one at our place.
Who would it be? It'd have to be Big Steve.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea, that.
Unless we chucked you two in there.
No, I'm all right. I'm all good, thank you.
Loved that, though. You can see the Bratislava players at the end there, I guess, which was with the ultras, which often happens in European games. But the City players seem to have mainly left the field now. 4-0. Is that a reflection of the dominance, do you think?
No, I think it could have been more, but I think it was like the coolest, calmest 4-0 that you'll see. Like, they were so good, and you know, Shaun was talking about when we spoke about the running distances. It's very hard to run really far when all you're doing is attacking. But in fairness to Nunes, as we saw right at the end of the game as well, he ran all the way back to make that tackle at the end. So City, the reason it looked comfortable is because they did the right things from start to finish, whether that was in attack, whether that was in midfield, in defence. It was a really, really good performance. Obviously, they would have hoped to score more. There'll be some players walking off the pitch, like maybe Haaland had a couple of chances thinking, I wish I would have scored more. But positives, and not least of all from James McAtee scoring his first goal for Man City. Like, that means, I'm sure that'll mean a lot to him and his family. So it's a good outing, and to be able to win by that many goals away from home in the Champions League should never be frowned upon.
So 2 goals in each half for City. So the goals in the second half, as we mentioned there, for Haaland and for McAtee. So Haaland went off at 58-59, not long after he'd got his goal. But another Champions League goal for Erling Haaland continues his phenomenal record. What did you make of the goal?
It's great play all around, I think. His positioning in between the 2 centre-backs, and the way he was kind of side on, and Rico's obviously noticed that, and the weight on the ball was nice, and the way he took it around the keeper, it just looked like a man in form, to be honest with you. And like Nedum said, he must be mad he didn't score more goals than that, because he had one earlier in the first half, and then he had another one in that first half where for Haaland they normally go in, but they didn't. But he's a man that just keeps knocking on that door and hoping his chances keep coming, and the players that run the team keep giving it to him and keep feeding him, and they know he's going to score him. And I think he gets he doesn't get enough credit in many ways because he's been scoring goals in the Champions League and every club he's been at for a very long time. If you look at like his stats, and he's come here and he's just doing the exact same thing like it was just the same team. He just slotted straight in. So for me, he's just a phenomenal talent, and I can't wait. He's improving as well, to be honest with you, in his all-round game.
So he's played 41 Champions League games across his clubs. How many goals do you think he scored?
39.
42.
So I was going to say more. I was going to say 47, though, to be fair.
42, but obviously he came off before 60 minutes today, and he did that a lot last season as well in the early stages as well. So that's not even playing full 90 minutes in games. 42 goals in 41 appearances.
Incredibly impressive. I think, you know, we're sort of normalising the fact that he averages a goal a game throughout his career, but the numbers are astonishing.
Yeah, they are.
But you see it, like, you know, to talk about his goal today, the run is great, but also shout out to Rico Lewis for the pass through.
The pass was nice.
Perfectly weighted, and it's that point when Erling Haaland turns and he's at full speed, the separation between him and the defenders is one standing with. It just gets. I was going to say something, but it sounds a bit sus. But yeah, space grows. But yeah, it's so impressive, and he needs to be patient as well, because for the way that teams play against City, they'll drop off, they'll have a low block, and when you look at the positions that Haaland's in, it's very easy to be frustrated because he's the one that has the most bodies around him who are trying to stop him from playing. But he remains patient, he keeps making the right runs and waits for his opportunity. And as we've seen through the last few years, like, when the opportunity comes, there's a very good chance he's going to score.
And score he did. That was 3-0. City went on to make it 4-0. Now, earlier, before the game, we talked about the incredible FA Youth Cup winners from 2020, and we talked about the fact that this weekend in the Premier League, goals were scored by Cole Palmer, by Liam Delap, by Morgan Rogers, and by Taylor Harwood-Bellis. That was good memory there. Well, tonight, another one of City's 2020 FA Youth Cup winners scored as well, and this time it was James McAtee with his first goal, his first senior goal, for Manchester City. And it was a goal that was made in the academy as well, because it was Rico Lewis to Phil Foden to James McAtee. What a night for him.
The whole play was nice, and the little cheeky scoop pass that Phil played into him in his first touch, and how quick he took that shot and volleyed it straight into the ground and their post. I'm delighted for him, and in many ways it's been a long time coming for him, because I think at Sheffield United he never got in as much credit as he deserved there. He was almost, in many ways, a one-man attacking bandit at that place, and in a tough situation. And he was man enough to go there and say, this is what I want to do. This is going to help me with me playing mental strength. And he's come back here through pre-season. He was really good, and he's getting his chances now. And that will be important for him, especially when he does get more chances, that he'll be in those positions again. And they're going to want him to score, and he's going to want to score. And as an attacking player, when you score that goal, they normally come a lot easier once the first one goes in. So fingers crossed for him.
Yes, hopefully it is the start of many, many goals for James McAtee. Congratulations to him on his first Manchester City senior goal. So let's take a look at the massive league table. Don't forget, there's 36 teams. Oh, hold on a minute.
Why have we done it like that now?
Right, we've had a switch around, or UEFA have provided a switch around. So you can see on this side, 1 to 8. So the top 8 qualify automatically. City currently sitting in 4th on 4 points.
Okay.
Then 9 to 23. Where's 24? Oh, there's 2 23s. Just to make it more
that's on the points. That's because of the
points and goal difference.
The points
exactly
and goal difference are the same.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to separate them at some point.
There will be towards the end.
Yeah, but this is now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the teams in the middle would go into a knockout round playoff, a 2-legged home and away playoffs to get the other 8 teams that would go into the knockout stage. And then 25 down to 36, they're the teams that would currently be eliminated. So you can see City sitting in 4th. There is more Champions League games to be played tomorrow. Liverpool and Aston Villa both play tomorrow. But you can see Arsenal currently sitting in 8th. We're in 4th. We're both on 4 points, which goes back to what you were talking about to us throughout the game, Shaun, goal difference, because the goal difference currently is splitting 4th and 8th.
Yeah, I just from obviously the way what Vinny did with Bayern and the way the league set out and what Nedum was explaining, the more I thought about it, like, goal differences in terms of like 1 to 8 can probably, if you're on the same point, maybe jump you 2 positions and through to that next round can be massive in terms of your journey or your route to the finals. So it was in many ways important for us to get those 2 goals in the second half. And of course, we would have wanted more. But like Nedum said, away from home, 4-0 in the Champions League, professional performance, like we've said as well, is massively important. And it's just something to build off of now.
Absolutely so. Currently sitting 4th after 2 games and just 6 more games to go in this new group, big league stage. So that is Champions League done for a couple of weeks. But on Saturday, we will turn our attention back to the Premier League as City play on Saturday, 3 p.m. Lovely stuff. Home against Fulham. Now, Fulham have had, if you have missed this, a phenomenal start to the season. In fact, Fulham are enjoying their best start to a Premier League season in 20 years. They currently sit 6th in the table, and particularly defensively, they're looking really, really strong. They've only conceded 5 goals so far, and they have the joint 2nd best defence in the league. So Fulham, coming on Saturday, might be a bit of a tougher game than maybe we expected when the fixtures came out.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the fact that it's City at home, like, that's the sort of comfort blanket. Because think how many games you've been to watch City where they haven't ended up doing well at home. You know, it's few and far between. But Fulham have started very, very well. I think they've had a couple of tests recently, like winning against Nottingham Forest. That's actually ended up to be a big result because Forest have been very solid as well. And then I think when they played Newcastle at home, if Newcastle would have won, Newcastle would have gone top. So to be able to beat Newcastle is, again, an impressive result. So they are good. They've had a few good signings in Smith Rowe. They've got Anderson at the back. So they are a good side. They're very well organised. Like their manager, Silva, he's been doing well with Fulham for long periods of time. But unfortunately for them, it tends to happen in sort of stretches within the league. And they're having the start now. The belief will be high, but going to play against City is the ultimate test. And if they want to get a result from it, like we've seen City, I think 2 years ago, go down to 10 and still managed to win a game late doors. You know, it was when Cancelo got sent off. So it's going to be a big, big test for Fulham. They'll have the belief because they have the confidence from the results. But again, like we've seen better teams than Fulham come to the Etihad and wilt. So hopefully if City can be in good health, have the right players in the right places, I think this game, it should still be all right for them.
Yeah, and it feels important given that we've drawn the last 2 Premier League games. And OK, when you look at them in isolation, the Arsenal draw and the Newcastle game, but it feels important as well, Shaun, that we get back to winning ways in the Premier League as quick as possible.
We always want to get back to winning ways, but I think in many ways it's still early in the season. Arsenal is a title runner. You're not expected to blow them away, although we have in occasions. So I think a draw isn't a bad result from that game, considering the way the game was played in terms of them. And I think Newcastle, people forget how hard it was to go to St James's Park over the last 2 years. So again, that is an important point to pick up. We haven't lost yet, and once you're putting points on the board, we're going to win more than we'll draw. So they will all add up at the back end of the season, and we're always good at the back end of the season. We pick up a run of 13 games. Now, if you add that to the draws, it puts us in good stead for that part of the season. So for me, I wasn't too worried about it. In many ways, I thought we should probably beat Arsenal. Give or take that penalty decision, we would have beat Newcastle. But these things happen in football, and as long as we're performing the way we are, there's not much else you can do about it, because you can play amazingly and still lose a game of football. So it's more about the performances and the chances created that I'm enjoying at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff as well. They seem rarer and rarer, and I love a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. With Fulham's good start, what sort of game are you going to be expecting Saturday?
I'm curious because the way they've been playing, I won't say expansive, but they've been enjoying their football. They haven't been scared of anybody. They've not gone toe to toe, but they've played football their way, and I'm intrigued to see if they come here and still do that, or do they change their game, because obviously they're coming to play, obviously, possibly one of the best teams in the world. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, the tactical battle between, obviously, the 2 managers.
Thank you. Thank you both for being here tonight. It was a pleasure, absolute pleasure. One of my favourite shows that we've done. I've very much enjoyed your company, both of you. Thank you very much. Our next Champions League game takes place on the 23rd of October, Wednesday the 23rd of October. It is at home to Sparta Prague at 8 p.m. UK kickoff. You can get your tickets now. Tickets are on sale to see City at home in the Champions League. Sparta Prague currently sitting on 4 points as well, same as we are. So that will be a very, very interesting game. So get your tickets now, Wednesday the 23rd of October, City versus Sparta Prague in the Champions League. Shaun Wright-Phillips, thank you very much for your time again. Nedum, Onuoha, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for the sweets, although I ate too many, so now I'm actually not that happy about it. And thank you all for joining us on another Matchday Live. Thank you to Alistair Mann and to Nikki Weaver for the commentary on today's game as well. And thank you very much to all of the fans that are watching and all of the fans that travelled out to Bratislava. We're going to finish the show today with the second part of the journey of Leon from the official supporters group in Halifax, who went on a mad journey to make sure he didn't miss tonight's game. We'll see you on Saturday.
From the Roman ruins to the palace of the Austrian Habsburg dynasty. Here we have it, finally arrived in sunny Bratislava, currently stood in front of the Danube River, and just behind me the UFO Tower. And if I turn round, you'll see the famous Bratislavan castle. Here on top of the UFO Tower with a beautiful view of the city where we'll be drinking tonight.
Excuse me, is it Leon?
Yeah, it is.
I thought I recognised you. You've been sending in your videos, haven't you, for your travel to Matchday Live?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How are you?
Not too bad, yourself?
Yeah, good. You enjoying Bratislava?
Yeah, it's been a good time, yeah. We've just been here full day.
Yeah.
Enjoying the pre-match atmosphere this morning, yeah.
Very nice. And have you travelled anywhere else along the way?
Yeah, we started our journey on Friday evening down into Croatia, and then got the train from Vienna, from Croatia, and then into Bratislava.
Very nice. And have you been here, I believe, just to soak up the atmosphere, or are you going to the game
doing
tonight?
A bit more sightseeing, and then getting ready for the game, get a few drinks in down in the old town later on.
Nice. And so what are you looking forward to most about the game tonight?
Well, seeing City play, seeing some great Slovakian football and atmosphere, yeah. Hoping ticking another ground off the list and another country to watch City in.
Definitely. And what's been your favourite part so far, do you reckon? Like, what's your best thing that you've seen?
I think it's the whole journey, it's the entire journey really. Like seeing, you know, places you wouldn't normally get to see, like Slovakia. Yeah.
Have you tried anything, any food, like traditional food that's quite nice? Or?
In Vienna we had Vienna schnitzel, which was very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't pronounce the Slovakian food, but yeah, definitely
but it was
recommend
nice.
it. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
That's
recommend
good.
it. Yeah, gonna have some more later.
So tonight then, Champions League, our first away game of the season. How are you feeling? We had Inter last week.
Yeah, the Inter game weren't too great, but I'm confident today. I feel like we'll be a comfortable win against Bratislava, but yeah, you know, I think we'll do it, yeah.
Do you reckon? And the new league format, how are you feeling about that?
Well, it's been a bit controversial, but
it's a bit different,
you know,
isn't it? Yeah.
It's definitely different, yeah. But plenty of new, more opportunity for different away games, so more travelling, seeing places like this, definitely got some positives.
And you said you're confident about tonight's game then. What score are you going for?
I think we'll go for a humble 4-0. Humble 4-0,
Humble 4-0, okay. Well, thank you very much for sending in your vlogs. We've enjoyed seeing them and what you've been getting up to on your travels.
You're welcome.
And hopefully, we'll see you from the stands tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
No worries.